Assassin's Creed is in big trouble. Not only Assassin's Creed, but every IP that Ubisoft owns. In January of this year, the publisher behind Assassin's Creed, which is Ubisoft, they announced a huge sweeping reorganization that brought a lot of significant project cancellations and delays. The company canceled 6 in-development games, notably including the long-delayed Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, which everybody wanted, and they delayed 7 other games. And they said it was part of their strategic decision to refocus its portfolio. Now, among those canceled projects were 3 unannounced new IPs and a mobile game, and they all deemed to fall short of Ubisoft's new enhanced quality standards. I know, that makes you kind of smile, doesn't it? The cancellations were accompanied by studio closures. Ubisoft confirmed it's shutting down its Halifax, which is Canada, and Stockholm studios, with further restructurings and layoffs planned at other locations. These are drastic moves, and this came after a thorough review of Ubisoft's content pipeline in December and January aimed at reallocating the resources. So what does that mean for Assassin's Creed? Well, it's going to be directly affected. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, and we're going to go over everything about Ubisoft's problems right now and how that's going to affect Assassin's Creed, the Black Flag remake, all the future ones, and everything else in the Ubisoft pipeline. It is not good. This I usually like to do good news and leaks and rumors and updates and happy positive videos. This one's not going to be that. So if you're a fan of Ubisoft or any of their IP, stick around because you're going to want to know what the future is for your games. Drop a like, guys. Remember, I read every single comment on every single video. Tell me your favorite Ubisoft game in the comments and your least favorite. Now, Ubisoft is giving extra development time to 7 upcoming games in order to ensure enhanced quality benchmarks are fully met. Now, that sounds great on the surface. Readjusting and aligning and saying, hey, we're going to focus on quality over quantity, that's a good thing, right? Now, Ubisoft didn't publicly list all these delayed projects, but it is being widely reported that one of them is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, resynced, if you will. In fact, Ubisoft noted that one major game originally slated for release in fiscal year of 2026, which ends March of this year, is now pushed to fiscal year 2027. Now, credible industry sources, they identified this as the Black Flag remake, effectively confirming the project has been delayed about a year. And that means we were less than 2 months from actually having this in our hands if things hadn't changed. Now, on one side of that, people are going to be pissed. I get it. You want it in your hands. On the other side of that, if you're okay with the long burn and the long haul, then maybe this is the right thing to do. But the fact that they canceled Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, which was first announced 6 years ago and it's officially shelved, that one stings. They also canceled 5 other projects. Like I said, 3 new IPs and 1 mobile, which I don't care about the mobile at all. And then they have delayed 7 games, including, like I said, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the remake, which has been postponed by roughly 1 year. Now, all of these delays, they're part of a larger effort by Ubisoft to reset the entire pipeline after several years of underperformance on their games. This is a very, very dramatic shakeup, and it has direct implications for the Assassin's Creed franchise, especially Black Flag. Now, if you've never played Black Flag, this probably doesn't mean a lot to you, but if you have and you were excited for this, you're probably a huge fan of Edward Kenway, right? I mean, it was an awesome game. I mean, it was an iconic pirate adventure. And when we found out or caught wind we were going to be getting a remake, everybody was excited, right? I mean, this one is one that could end up being one of the best remakes ever made if they did it right. And like I said, it was planned to launch in March, less than a month and a half away. But now we're going to get it another year down the road, which I'm okay with this one. I really, really am. And the reason I am is because I would rather them fix everything and we move forward with the Assassin's Creed franchise as a whole and it's in a much better spot than just continue on how they've done things, which obviously isn't working. Now, the Black Flag remake, sometimes referenced by the leak working title Assassin's Black Flag Resynced, it has an open secret. In December of last year, a European ratings board listed for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced briefly appeared online, strongly verifying the project's existence. Now, the original Black Flag, it released all the way back in 2013. I would say it's one of the top most beloved entries in the series. It is for me, and the rumors indicated the remake would modernize the gameplay and possibly remove the original present-day story segments. Now, Ubisoft hasn't commented or said anything. They haven't confirmed this reveal at all. But even the actor who actually voiced Edward Kenway, has hinted at the development. Now, with the delay, people shouldn't expect to play it for another year. They extended that development timeline by one more year. And notably, the Black Flag remake is still moving forward, albeit slowly rather than being canceled, which that's a good thing. Ubisoft's own messaging suggests it remains committed to the project as part of the reorganization. The company explicitly carved out one of its new creative houses to focus on its biggest franchises like Assassin's Creed, right? So I guess it's when you have too many things in the oven, things get away from you. And that is what it looks like when it comes to Ubisoft as in the bigger picture. Now, given that Assassin's Creed Mirage, which released, 3 years ago, was the most recent installment, the franchise's release schedule is slow. It's going to be even slower as they reshuffle. Now, beyond the individual games, Ubisoft's past month has been defined by a major corporate restructuring intended to reclaim the company's creative leadership and restore growth. The publisher is overhauling the entire organizational model by splitting into 5 specialized creative houses. So these are essentially divisions organized by game genre or type of experience. I mean, that's a pivot to the whole decentralized structure with each house responsible for its own portfolio and its own profits. For example, Creative House 1, also referred to as Vantage, is going to concentrate on Ubisoft's flagship franchises. So Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. That's a very important creative house. Other houses are going to oversee categories like shooters. You got Ghost Recon, you got The Division. Those will be in House 2. Then you have live service titles like Skull and Bones. Why we're even worried about that, I don't know. The Crew, those will be in House 3. Then you have your narrative single-player fantasy titles. You've got Beyond Good and Evil 2, Rayman, all those, House 4. And then your casual games, Just Dance, mobile board game adaptations, stuff like that would be in House 5. Now, Ubisoft's CEO and other execs have described this reorganization as a response to a changing industry landscape. The AAA industry has become persistently more selective and competitive with rising development costs. Yet successful AAA games have more financial potential than ever. They can make more money if they are done right. So it looks like they are going to revise this as a 3-year roadmap and try to fix things. Now, central to that strategy is an emphasis on open world adventures and GaaS native experiences, games as a service, coupled with investments in cutting edge tech like generative AI. Ubisoft explicitly stated it wants it to produce exceptional quality games built around basically AI in open world adventures. And an example of that philosophy is the goal to turn each of its major franchises into annual billionaire brands. Essentially, reoccurring revenue powerhouses that deliver blockbusters year after year. They're talking about Assassin's Creed here, but we've seen with the Call of Duty model that year after year, every single year, it breaks you down. Now, from an operational standpoint, Ubisoft's new model aims to streamline decision-making by decentralizing creative control. So each creative house we talked about will handle both the development and the publishing for its title, and they will have full responsibility and financial ownership of their results. This is meant to reduce all the, politics and bureaucracy and allow the teams to adapt faster to player preferences. Ubisoft is also right-sizing the organization, which is basically a corporate way of saying they're cutting costs and headcount to match the slimmer portfolio. They're getting rid of people, okay? They're shedding, they're taking it down. Now, this means layoffs. And beyond the 2 studio closures mentioned, Ubisoft has confirmed that there is more coming. Now, as for the Assassin's Creed franchise specifically, I think the restructuring is a double-edged sword here. On one hand, AC is clearly designated as a core pillar of Ubisoft's future. It sits front and center in the new creative house number 1, right? Meaning a dedicated leadership team will be devoted to expanding and maintaining the Assassin's Creed universe. This also implies that Assassin's Creed will continue to receive significant investment and attention even as other projects get axed. Now, on the other hand, the immediate effect is a slowdown. Projects like Black Flag's remake have been delayed to meet the company's new enhanced quality bar, and it appears that Ubisoft is willing to pause or stagger releases to avoid mistakes and missteps. So, to sum it up, the strategy shift signals fewer, bigger bets, which I'm actually okay with. So what does all that mean for Assassin's Creed? I think the short answer is AC is the crown jewel, but people might experience longer waits between major installments in exchange for allegedly higher stakes projects, right? The franchise's importance was reinforced by Ubisoft themselves. They have an entire division basically dedicated to Assassin's Creed and their other top 2 brands. So we'll see. It all sounds great on paper, right? I mean, Assassin's Creed Mirage launched late 2023, didn't go over well. Now we're in 2026. We don't know. I mean, when is Hex coming? When is Jade coming? Not Jade. I think Jade was more. I don't even know anymore. I mean, we've had so... It's a mess. Let's just leave it at that. I think Black Flag Resynced was going to be a good positive for everybody, but now we're going to have to wait another year on that. So, in a nutshell, it looks bad on the outside, and it is, because if you look at their stocks, I mean, it is bad. The market reaction when all this came out was brutal. Shares of Ubisoft plummeted nearly 35% in a single day. They hit their lowest price in 14 years. In fact, the stock's plunge on January 22nd, 2026 was on track to be the steepest one-day drop since Ubisoft's initial public listing in 1996. I mean, that collapse brought Ubisoft's share price down to, I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. It was like under $5. It may have been less than that, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty sure their market cap at one point was billions, and now it's like 720 million. Actually, yeah, I think the peak evaluation was over 10 billion in the late 2010s. Imagine that. That's over 90% of its value since its heyday. Poof, gone. I mean, the stock drop was fueled by not only all the stuff we've talked about, but also them trimming their net bookings forecast for fiscal 2026 and outright withdrawing its financial guidance for fiscal 2027. I mean, they're signaling they have a lot of uncertainty and rough waters ahead. So yeah, people are not going to buy in or invest in Ubisoft until they see all this stuff that they're spending here actually come to fruition. So the short end of it is simple. We have projects that are gone. We have projects that are delayed. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it's still coming, but now you're probably going to have to wait another year. As for the other ones that got axed, I don't know. The mobile game I don't care about. The ones that got delayed, I'm assuming a couple of those are probably Assassin's Creed as well. I will keep you guys posted if anything new comes. I mean, if they don't watch it, they could end up going bankrupt or disappearing. And think of all the IPs that they have. I mean, the Division 3, isn't that on the way too? Isn't that being talked about as well? And then you, of course, have Siege and all of those. It just really makes you wonder how mismanaged this was, because they have so many good legacy IPs. Where did it go wrong? You guys let me know in the comment section. I'll see you soon.